Hey guys, my name is Luis Munoz, aka Modern Guitar Tech, and this is
Tone Time Podcast?
yes, sir.
This is the Tone Time Podcast.
And this is episode number 2. Cool. All right.
Rad.
So, how you doing, man?
You know, I did work on that crazy pedal board I talked about that came in. The super homemade, handmade
Again?
special. Yes. It's such a weird one. And I've never worked on anything like that before. And lots of unique approaches to doing something that you could probably do a lot cleaner and easier with, say, a power supply and proper cabling. But, you know, him and his tech, they got together and they're like, this needs to happen. So they hardwired a bunch of like adapters to an IEC connector. So everything plugs into this IEC thing, which I mentioned before. They gutted a Big Muff pedal completely out and just filled it with, it's got this wall wart adapter, and they hardwired the prongs to the IEC, and then that wall wart's powering 2 wireless units plus another wall wart that's daisy chained, and it's crazy. I'm surprised it never caught fire. But then after what I did, he took it home and he was happy. But then I had an epiphany and I said, wait a minute. What if, because I use like thinner gauge wire, and I started thinking, oh man, what if this like catches fire or something while I was on tour? Because I've never worked on anything like this before. I don't really deal with AC voltage as much as DC.
That is crazy.
Replaced it with proper gauge wire. Everything works. He's happy. Hopefully it doesn't. It's hard to say. This is just one of those where like, I'll do my best and try to get it up and running, but I can't guarantee that this is going to work forever. But it's worked since 2019 apparently, so.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it works, you know. I mean, I haven't had anything like that in a while, like, but I have gotten like guitars or rigs that are like, it just seems like it's like, how has this been working?
Yeah, I was looking at it, totally blown away. I'm impressed. The ideas are clever.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it works. I mean, and I was like, great. I think he got a little offended too, because I kept saying, look, this is a really unorthodox pedal board. I've never worked on anything like this before. It seems to work, but I can't guarantee it's going to work forever. And he was like, well, what is so weird about it if it works? And I was like, yeah, it works. On paper, everything's right. But like, you have wires running from here to there and like connecting straight to a plug to the wall, and like, I don't know, man, it's just a little different.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, well, I mean, it works. And I said, it does work. Congratulations. Anyway, so yeah, we got to work in, and he's one of these guys that like, you know, he'll just use the same stuff until it absolutely does not work anymore. And I can respect that, and that's cool. He's very successful at his job, and so can't knock it.
That's crazy. That's cool.
How about you? Besides my guitars, anything ridiculous yet?
Let me see. I feel like I did something. I worked on
How many Carl Verheyen setups have you done on guitar?
4, I think.
Were they all
Right?
mine?
Yeah, they're all yours. You're the only guy.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe every
That's
now and then
funny.
I'll get somebody else that I'll
Hilarious.
ask
I'm sorry.
For the, I'm sure like so many of those views on his MI video where he explains what the Carl Verheyen are
me and you.
mine. Yeah, because I always kind of forget. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Especially like the intervals.
Yeah. I think ultimately that's it. Like, I don't know if maybe we can get into this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you agree that the claw angle really makes a difference? Or is it?
Doesn't. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
So for those people that don't know,
Sorry,
we're
y'all.
talking
Nerdy.
about a like how you set up a floating bridge, like in this example, or what we're talking about is a Strat.
But a standard Strat,
Yeah,
not
just
a
like
Floyd Rose.
No,
Yeah.
just like a standard Strat. And then the I guess he claims that like if you angle the claw on the back, which the springs are attached to, if you angle it, it's increasing and decreasing the pressure on the bridge itself. But it doesn't make any. I think in theory, like I understand what he's trying to say, but I've disproven it. There's other videos that have disproven it that you
Yeah.
can achieve the same thing
Sure.
by even angling it the other way,
Oh, interesting.
because the bridge still bottoms. The important thing is the angle of the bridge itself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
You know, but
As long as you get the minor third.
yeah, but you know, it's called Rahayan, and I mean, whatever. Who cares? Like,
Sure.
it is one of those things where I'm like, dude, I can sit here and argue and be like, whatever.
Try it on the gear page, dude. You'll get
Oh my god,
destroyed.
yeah.
By the.
And then the thing with yours is you have GNLs, so they're different. That bridge
it's
is
not
different.
true. No, it's not true. He just doesn't know what. No, I'm
It
just
is
kidding.
different.
I know
It's a
yeah.
different bridge, but
Maybe the next project we'll just replace.
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean that's it. I worked on a cool telly for my friend Emily. Like the saddle screws were like really sticking
Oh, I
out.
saw your video. Yeah.
So I had to like cut them down.
Did it come stock like that, or was it like
Yeah.
a replacement bridge?
Yeah. No,
What?
just came stock like that.
That's crazy. Why?
Yeah, I that's just how it is, you know.
A Fender or?
Yeah, custom shop.
Oh, weird.
You know, I mean that's the thing is like you buy something
Uh-huh.
and people just assume that it's like, oh, it's you know, especially if it's like a custom shop or something. I mean that's why people swap out bridges and.
Did they do the shielding paint properly? I know that's your pet
They-
peeve.
No, actually, there was no shielding paint, thank God. But it was, you know, just really. I think that's the difference between like, okay, like this guitar plays pretty good, but I really want it to play better,
Sure.
and you know, I see all the improvements that they're not gonna make from a factory
Yeah.
setting. You know, it's just like I added a shim to kind of change the angle of the neck
Nice.
to give me a little more room with the saddle height.
Mhm.
And then I cut those screws, dremeled them off, and then polished the.
Were they getting in the way of playing?
They were.
Oh, I see.
And if you didn't quite have like the string properly, like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you should just replace the saddles for
Sure.
the bridge.
Okay.
But if you like it, you know, you kind of just work with it. And I mean, those projects are fun though. I like doing that because they're just super self-rewarding because I'm like, oh, I see the potential by just doing these tiny little adjustments. What are for me, you know, like,
Sure.
and I was like, oh, this is great.
Nice.
It feels great. You know, she loved it, and that's it. I mean, that was kind of the one that really stands out this week.
I'm really excited for, I don't know what week we will talk about it, but is it Marcus's Sparkly Blue?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't
Yeah.
wait to get into that. Anything crazy, any cool stuff coming up on that's unique?
No, I just got to put it together.
Okay. But wiring and everything is pretty
Yeah, pretty standard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty standard. I
Looks
just got to
rad.
put it together. Yeah, I mean what's your homie?
Marty Bell?
Marty Bell, semi-retired.
I guess so. I
Finnish
thought he was
guy.
done, but I guess not, which is cool.
Yeah, he like shipped it out to Phoenix or
Yeah.
wherever he lives now.
Yeah.
Super. For people that don't know, like doing sparkle finish is really hard. It's I'm not a finisher by any means, but from what I've heard and I've known and the little that I have done, it's like, dude, it gets everywhere.
Sure.
It just gets everywhere, and it's just messy.
He must have a dedicated
I think you have to.
setup. Yeah.
I think you have to. But music news, real quick.
Oh yeah, music
What's
news.
in the news, man? Anything interesting?
This is probably oldish by now, but I love talking about it. It's so juicy.
What is it?
The Giacomo Tura whatever conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy?
No, I don't know. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I just
So
dramatic.
explain to us what this whole thing is.
Yeah, so he's this apparently well-known, big following guitar player on Instagram. And a lot of y'all probably know about this already, but just in case. Does a lot of videos of like covers that are like funkified, fusion funk, I guess, really advanced sounding, harmony, technical ability. And he's been doing it for a long time. Because I love funk music and I love funk guitar. Non-musicians that know me, they either send me the video of Prince at the Rock Hall of Fame shredding to While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Dude, have you seen anything like this before? I'm like, yeah, I've seen this a million times. And then it's almost always a Giacomo video, Giacomo, whatever, because he's funky. And they're like, look at him play this version of whatever. And I'm like, that kind of stuff doesn't really appeal to me. Like, it's really impressive, but it's not my favorite vibe. And so I was always like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. And so anyway, long story short, my bad. It turns out that after all this time, he's been just stealing the exact arrangements, like note for note, from lesser known musicians on social media.
How old is he? Do you know?
I don't know. I imagine he's in his 20s, maybe late 20s, mid 20s.
And he's from Italy?
I guess so. Your favorite, dude.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I just heard about it, I don't know, like a week or two ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, you know, because then you started seeing all these, like, especially like on YouTube,
Oh, it's just like now everybody's.
just everyone's just making a video.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just find it interesting how it's like everyone's kind of just hyper focused on it,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know. I guess there's like a part of me that I'm like, I don't know, poor guy. Like I feel for him. I
Okay.
really do.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because he's just, I don't know, like, just a kid. It's like, dude, you're just, you know, like
Sure.
maybe this will tie into what we want to talk about today, but it's just like staying afloat and just, you know, like,
I guess.
but obviously, I mean, dude, he's stealing literally note for note.
Yeah.
Like, because I guess it's like two things, right? It's like he's, the whole miming thing is
Yeah.
a part of it
There's
that he
that.
wasn't really playing.
Right.
And he was like, what do you call it?
Slowing it down, playing
Yeah.
it, speeding it up.
Yeah.
And then miming to it.
Yeah. And then so there's that one part, and then the other part is the stealing.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the miming thing, I'm kind of like, whatever, I guess. You know, like that sucks, whatever. But I don't think it's the end of the world.
Sure.
But the stealing part, I guess, is like, oh, dude, I mean, you were blatantly, you know, and I guess
Yeah.
like even like manufacturers, like he was like getting guitars and just not getting back to them, and
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, because they were like, use your guitar in this many videos.
Uh-huh.
Then you do
And,
one.
yeah, and then he
sell
sold it or something
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So like that stuff too, you know. But it's like, I'm not condoning what he did.
Sure.
I think I just feel for him. Like, I don't know. It just sucks to have so many people just shit on you and hate you.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it's interesting because with the stealing arrangements and not giving credit, he would
Stop
then
the steal, dude.
he would like sell tabs and backing tracks for them. So he's making all that money, and some guy who's got like 1,000 followers is not
Yeah.
getting any recognition or money from that. This guy, meanwhile, has like 800,000 followers, and
Do you think, like, you know, like there's that whole famous, like, you know, like Led Zeppelin didn't write
right,
the
yeah,
Stairway to Heaven, and imagine if like they were around and that happened during, you know, like there was like some kind of form of social
Right.
media and public shaming,
right.
and it's like,
Ultimately, they're both doing a cover of whatever, Isn't She Lovely? So it's not like, can you really steal an is an arrangement
yes,
copy?
I mean,
you know what I
it's-
mean?
yeah, I mean, if you're like,
Morally, yes, but like legally, I don't know.
oh, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but I think he's like, you know, it's like the court of public perception, I
Yeah.
guess, and it's like, you know, the verdict is in. It's like, dude,
Right.
like, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's just like,
Yeah. I'd be pissed if like I did something, whatever, and I posted it and I got like 10 views or whatever. And then I find out that someone else did it and they have 1 million followers
Yeah.
now partly because of it or whatever. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Dude, look what I came up with, guys. This is how you play it." I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
yeah, no. I mean,
I
of
worked for
course.
years to
Yeah.
like, and then with the miming thing, I know it's not a big deal, but I guess my concern with that kind of thing, yeah, I'm stuck in a box. My concern with that is
I'm so sick, dude. I'm so talented.
you really are. The guy is Luis Munoz, modern guitar tech, most talented person I know. Now he's a mime and he's stealing actual mime work. The thing that concerns me about the miming, slowing it down, speeding it up, etc. It can create unrealistic goals or expectations. Similar to like fashion or fitness stuff. None of that stuff is really real. You know, they're like selling something, and then people look at themselves like, well, supposedly this guy got ripped in 3 weeks, and I still feel like I'm fat, and they might not be. Or, you know, it
Yeah,
creates this
yeah,
like.
yeah. Oh, interesting. I've never seen it from
So
that
someone sees
perspective.
this guy, and they're like, "Wow, I can't play like that."
I suck. I
Yeah,
quit.
yeah,
I'm gonna MI.
yeah.
Don't worry, he can't play like that either.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
then it turns
But
out,
that's what he's saying. It's like it sets an
Yeah, exactly.
unrealistic.
yeah, expectation or goal, and that's the only thing. Because I guess I've been through that stuff, and I had to get over, you know, like seeing other people that are absolutely destroying, and I'm like, whoa, I'm a failure. It did affect me like that for
I
a
mean,
while.
you are, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
get it,
here
though.
now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
clearly I fucked up. Um, so yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me about that, and I think music should be, you know, encouraging. People should feel like good about it, you know. And so then it turns out when he played live, it doesn't sound anything remotely like the shit he was posting.
But I mean, there should be some kind of like, I don't know. I mean, not to talk shit on anybody's playing by any means, but it's like I saw a big guitar magazine Instagram account post a video of Kirk Hammett playing that Les Paul that belonged to
Oh yeah, Greenie or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gary Moore
Wasn't it
or
Bloomfield?
I can't remember.
One of
I'm
those.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will correct
Someone
us.
knows. Yeah.
But and he's playing that Fade to Black solo.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it's terrible. It's
Okay.
horrendous.
Yeah.
It's dude, I love Metallica.
Yeah, I know.
I love Metallica, but it's like if you have
One of the
ears-
few people that loves Saint Anger snare right here.
yeah, dude, I actually really like.
Or maybe
that
I'm wrong.
album.
I have no idea. I've just
No. I mean that's like a Emperor's New Clothes type thing. It's just like they really thought they were like being revolutionary. It's like no, that sound is horrendous. But I think
Hey.
I think the songs are actually pretty. Saint Anger's actually a cool song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with
Fuck
Metallica.
you, bro. But I think it is funny. It's like these guys are like, because dude, they're rock stars. There's these like they're icons. So
Right.
it's just like, but I'm like, dude, if you lifted your guitar just like 2 inches higher, you'd probably be able to play the solo. But
Yeah.
you're just so stuck to this, just like
Part of it too might be
so-
like, I think about,
they're old.
well, they've been doing it for a long time. And I wonder if at this point, does he pick up a guitar every single day? Maybe he like, if the tour's
Probably.
coming up, maybe he starts shedding for a month or whatever.
I just don't think that those guys are the type of like player. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Okay.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't, but I think I guess what I was gonna say is like then you see someone like Paul Gilbert or something,
Yeah.
and it's like if you're Kirk Hammett, you have to know that you're not at that level.
Sure.
It's okay because you're a multi-millionaire
And you wrote some cool riffs.
it's like
Timeless stuff.
it's awesome, but you got to look at these other guys that are like really just incredible and be like, yeah, dude, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Even Prince, like
Yeah.
I know this guy loves Prince. Like I think he's great, but it's
There's some-
pentatonic
Yeah.
central all day.
Right.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
But someone that doesn't play guitar looks at that and it's like, damn, that guy can really shred. And it's like, I mean, he can,
'Cause
of
he's got-
course.
The whole package.
But you know what I mean? It's like, could Prince? I mean, maybe because he would have been able to sell anything.
Sure.
But anyways, I don't know. I think just
As you're talking, I had another thought about the miming thing that I just said. How it could set unrealistic. There you go, Mr. Mime. Expectations or whatever. On the other hand, if somebody did bust their ass to learn that shit how it was, then unknowing they leveled up because they're like, well, this guy played it, so I could play it, and now they're fucking shredding. And
I was gonna say that a little bit to I mean, this is completely not even in the ballpark, maybe,
Yeah.
but it's like there's a story about Steve Wozniak. I'm getting all these names wrong. That
Okay.
he was the co-creator of Apple,
Oh, sure. Okay.
and they went to some, I don't know, something like they went to go look at a computer or a programmer or something. I'm messing the story up, but he saw on the screen like the icon moving
Mm-hmm.
and like this mouse thing, and they went home and they were like, "That's impossible. That's it. That's it. That how are they doing that?"
Yeah.
And then come to find out, well, he just kind of like just took it upon himself to just do it and figure it out.
Yeah.
And they did. And
Yeah.
then come to find out years later, whatnot, what they were looking at was just an interpretation of what IBM or whoever they were trying to do with.
I see. So it wasn't
So
even made yet.
Yeah. So, but he looking at that was like, oh, that's possible. If they figured it out, we can do it. And that was like one of those things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sure, some
Yeah.
kids out there that's like,
And
like
in a way, it's already happened because didn't Les Paul, he was like the master of like multi-tracking and speeding up. Mm-hmm. And I think it was someone like, here I go now, messing up stories. But I thought someone like Chet Atkins was like, well, I heard the bass and the chords and the melody at the same time.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just one guitar.
yeah,
And so
yeah, yeah. I
Did
mean,
it.
I'm sure that's probably the case.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think
It's
you'll
interesting.
naturally always
Yeah.
have people that are like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And then people that are like discouraged and are like, I can't, you
Yeah.
know. But then maybe they'll become songwriters. They're
Yeah.
like, I suck at playing. I'm just gonna sing my sad ass songs.
Yeah. Great.
But that's cool. All right. Well, so what do we decide?
About what?
Giacomo. Forgive him?
Fuck that guy.
I say,
You want to extend some grace.
yeah,
Okay.
just, dude, he's young, man.
I don't know. I saw the apology video and he seemed really passive about it. So I'm like,
I'd like to apologize.
I guess this is that racist?
Nah, we know a lot of Italians, dude.
Okay.
It's an
We gotta-
apology. I'm sorry.
My apology pizza. I love you, Mal and Dario and Statue.
Well,
and
this podcast was fun to last it, but we'll be making an apology video to the Italians
I guess
next week,
this is,
dude.
I gotta apologize.
Yeah. The other big news
Oh yeah,
is
the Fender thing.
Fender bought Reverb.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
I guess remains to be seen.
I don't know. I know some people at Fender.
They need to stop charging so many damn fees, dude. I can't sell nothing without losing like
I know, dude. Trust me, man. I was trying to sell some T-shirts on there, dude.
on Reverb.
On
Okay,
Reverb. It's like, dude, no way, man.
they're like listed for $45. You get $15.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Sure. I have what could come out of this? I have no idea.
No clue. So I guess that's
Cool.
the one with that one, huh?
Stand by. We'll see.
Stand by. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I am.
The new little icon on my phone looks cool. It looks nice.
I haven't seen
Darker
it.
orange.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what
They're already
Leo
making-
would have liked, dude.
Yeah, Leo.
Now, I am curious to see what, because it's like, I think of like, you remember when Google used to have on their main page, "Don't be evil" or something like that?
Oh, I don't remember that.
No?
No.
It's like, yeah, for the longest time, like their logo, I think as a company was like, "Don't be evil."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then
Now look.
at some point just vanished.
Yeah.
And then now they're just this huge evil big
Corporation.
corporation. So I
Hell
think
yeah.
it's inevitable. It's like, so I'm curious to see how inevitably it will affect the used market. All right, Johnny. So I think last week we talked a little bit about, we kind of shed on MI because we both went to MI.
Yeah.
Not shed, but
No.
we had our
Some grievances, I guess.
yeah,
sure.
and our opinions, and but I think
I think part of it, it's cool to hate on it. Maybe for some years, some classes that graduated from there at certain points.
every time I pay my student loan, I still hate them. Would you say because talking about last week and everything, how we
Yeah.
kind of came into it or whatever. And for me, I was thinking about that. It's like that is another question that I do get asked a lot. Is is it necessary? Meaning, not just MI, but just you got Berkeley, you got what are the other big music schools? There's a few
LACMA,
now.
right?
Yeah,
LA,
I mean there's,
Academy of Music.
but I think Berkeley and MI.
They seem to be.
Or if you like now, like UCLA or USC,
Those are
like they
real
all have like
colleges.
commercial.
Yeah.
But they all have like commercial.
Yeah, true.
Like music programs
Yeah.
now.
I do have some thoughts on that.
What are them thoughts, Doc?
So I went to MI like 06 or 07 to 08, something like that. I did the 90 year. The 90, what am I saying? I did the AA program, 18 months.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah. Associate of Arts degree in guitar performance.
I have a problem.
What's funny is, so I spent a lot of time preparing for my audition. I went to a teacher who I said, hey, this is my plan. I'm going to MI next year. So we were going over all these scales, music reading. We were like getting me advanced. And then I went to my audition and it was, can you play C major scale? I was like, hell yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, cool, can you read this? And I was like, hell yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Like, all right, welcome. I was like, what? And so that meant a lot of people got to get in.
Were you pissed? Did that annoy you?
I was annoyed because when I started, a lot of people were like, how does the E chord go?
Damn.
And I had heard so many stories about how like, oh, dude, you had to like back in the 70s and 80s, like this was like, it was top of the top people
For sure.
came here. You know what I mean? And I think in the era that I came in, I think they were starting to transition possibly into what they are now. They were trying to be more open, allow more people in, make more money, I assume. So I think it was a transitional period, but I was a little disappointed still when we started getting into like rhythm guitar and single string and all that I was like, you could learn all of this on your own. Just buy like a book or whatever. Because literally the teachers were just like, here's the book. All right, page. Okay, C major scale, whatever. C Lydian, here we go. Count it off. And I said, they're not really teaching anything.
Yeah.
But I do value still, and I think this is worth it. For one, the experience of being able to go to open counselings and then really break that stuff down. My private instructor, all the ones that I had were super helpful, and getting to know them and, talking to them about touring and session playing and what that's actually like, because that's what I wanted to do. And then ultimately the big thing was the LPWs. I thought that was very valuable.
Which stands for what? For people that don't know.
Oh, yes. Live performance workshops. You're supposed to, I don't remember what it was. You had to do like 7 a month or 7. You had to get a certain amount of credits.
Was it like 10? I think it was 10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, a semester or whatever it was, trimester. And I thought that was actually one of the more valuable parts, because you had to learn the song ahead of time. And then you just show up and they team you up with random musicians that you haven't played before with. And you count it off and you say, here we go. I hope everyone did it. No rehearsal. I do remember some people would get together and rehearse it and be like, let's go to the LPW together. I thought that was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Or not lame. I don't want to judge, but it
Unrealistic.
defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Because I thought the whole thing was you're supposed to show up to any gig and just nail it.
Yeah.
And that was very valuable to me, especially the funk LPW, because Masta was so damn mean to everyone.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me.
Who do you think you would have told Giacomo, dude?
Oh man, I saw him get mad at people for much less, for like, playing the D9 chord on an upbeat instead of whatever, and he would stop the song and just chew the guy out, and the guys would be like, oh. And
that ain't how you play, son.
Yeah, enough that a whole bunch of people like complained, and they were like, they changed the entire faculty for the Funk Ep.2
Yeah.
to some people that were more like welcoming and like, hey guys, yeah, sounds good. And I was like, what? No, I need the fear.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's my toxic trait. I needed the fear, and that pushed me to show up. Like, I was like, Masta's not gonna even look at me. Like, I'm gonna kill this shit.
Yeah.
And I usually did, which I was really proud of. So I thought that stuff was really useful because it felt real world application of what we were learning. So to me, even though I could have learned a lot of that stuff on my own, I think there's value in the real life experience and application of that stuff. And so I think it really helped form me as a player.
Damn. Okay. I like that answer. I like it.
Yeah. And I ultimately wanted to be like the next Steve Vai or Eric Johnson or whatever, but my private instructor put me in my place. He was like, how do you expect to play all this crazy stuff if you don't even know how many bars for a standard blues 1-4-5? He's like, how many bars for this chord? How many bars? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, how do you expect to do this? And so we broke it down. We started getting into stuff, and then he showed me James Brown. And then I was like, oh,
Damn.
I like this way more better, dude. This is
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really helped me form who I am today, I think, as a player. So
Dope. So, I mean, so the question is, like, is it necessary?
No, I don't think it's necessary. I think if you hustle and you learn this stuff on your own and you get out there and start playing with people, but I came from a smaller town where there was not a lot musically going on. So to me, to be able to jump in and start networking, that was a huge help for me.
Yeah. So, is it necessary? I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it's hard because it is these like open-ended like
Yeah.
questions with open-ended answers.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like it's what you make of it.
Exactly.
You know,
it's not
because-
necessary, but you can make it work for you as an
Yeah.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for me, I didn't know anybody in LA. I didn't, we didn't have family here. I'm from Texas, El Paso, the greatest city in the world.
Like Mars Volta, dude?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Yeah.
Are you related to them?
No, but
Damn.
yeah, I am good friends with Jim Ward, though. I would say
Oh, shit. Look at
not
you.
good friends, but I have his phone.
Call him right now, bro.
Call him right now. Tell him to come.
Hey, do you want to be on? Hey, Jim, you want to be on a podcast too? He's like, who is this? How'd you get my number? So I didn't really know anybody.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't, and I remember our drummer from our old band, he went to MI, but I think he got into a lot. I mean, he's such a good friend. I love that guy, Julio. But he got into like he was young. He got into a bunch of dumb shit, and I think he dropped out like after like a couple semesters. And he's doing good. He's got a coffee shop business now and then.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He invented Starbucks or what?
But anyways, I was like, he was like, I think years gone already,
Okay.
like, and then I think he moved back to El Paso, and it's always worked because he's like, he came back all like, dude, like, let's make the band work and everything. And I was like, bro, I'm over that. I want to
Yeah.
move to LA now.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's like, I'm going to go to the school, and I just used it as like my springboard into like LA, and
Sure.
it kind of gave me that discipline to kind of like, look, you're here, but I mean, I feel like, I always say that it's like, oh, if I, with what I know now, if I went to a school like that, oh my God, I
Right.
get so much out of it.
Right.
Because I know what I'm looking for.
In a way, me too. There's some stuff I didn't take as seriously that I wish I would have, despite all the good stuff that I did get
Yeah.
out of it. Yeah.
I hear
So
hindsight's 20/20, but yeah, I mean, I think I get
didn't
asked.
you marry someone from MI, and aren't you having a baby with them?
I am.
Wow.
I am. But we didn't meet at MI though.
Oh, you didn't meet at MI?
No.
You were there at the same time?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No. She saw my band
Uh-huh.
doing her orientation.
Oh, wow. That's cute.
So we
That's
were
even
the
more
band.
cute.
Yeah, so we were the band, and
Wow.
so when they were coming in, her class was starting.
Wow, that's cute.
It
Look at
is.
you
I mean,
guys.
it's funny. It is hilarious. Moa,
See?
I love you, baby.
It is necessary.
Yeah, but
If you want to find true love and have a family, go to MI.
yeah, this is the best commercial for that. But I mean, I run into like a lot of clients that went to Berkeley that say the same thing.
Sure. Oh, interesting.
You know, it's just like,
I always assumed Berkeley was like better,
yeah. I mean,
but I don't
I
know.
think it has that.
People have that vibe.
I think it has that like
Okay.
prestige
Sure.
label attached to it.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I think at that point you just that's on the schools to kind of, you know. I mean, a
Right.
lot of people have gone to MI, but
Yeah. Mateus.
yeah, nobody ever finishes because if you like people like
They
you know
figure
you
it out.
become famous and you figure it out and you're like, all right, cool, I'm
Yeah.
bouncing. But I just because I get asked a lot. It's like, should I go to school? You know, and I touched a little bit last week about like the luthier school and how accelerated it was, and it's like, I just I don't know. It's such a to be a contrarian. I
Yeah.
will say no. It is not necessary.
Sure.
You know, if
think
you're
we're
a
both saying that.
disciplined, if you're a very disciplined individual,
Right.
and you can, you know, you have this idea of what you want to be, you know, you're going to practice, you know, because all this information is out there, especially
there.
nowadays
Exactly.
with like, you know, like,
100%.
but it's the discipline to like
Right.
sit down and be like, I'm going to, that's what's
I'm
hard.
paying this much money, so I'm going to definitely practice.
Yeah.
You know, so.
You know, but you would think that, and,
Right.
and I didn't.
Sure. And there were days, there were times that I didn't either. So it's really interesting how that works. But I would also help me in my whatever I got going on in this brain. Having all the information broken down and sort of organized for me, and you know, work on this for a week because next week we're doing this. Oh, okay, cool. There was goals. There was that helped me a lot because otherwise on my own I'm like, oh, I'm gonna practice.
Yeah. And that's most people.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you know, like,
And I'd never get anything done.
Yeah.
Me personally.
I think most people.
Yeah.
I think most people. So I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if it's necessary, but depending on who you are, it might be helpful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, so damn,
Look at us go, dude.
we solved one of life's biggest
That's what this
questions.
podcast is all about ultimately.
You know, should you go to school? No. You know, if you want to be a doctor, dude, just go for it, man.
Why don't you do both? Do one as a side hustle.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
Oh. Yeah, so next week, let's talk about
How to,
how to stay afloat.
yeah.
And
Because it ain't easy no more. I mean, not that it ever was, but now I'm
yeah, I mean,
to
yeah.
do one thing.
Yeah.
Shit.
So this idea of like, you know, you're a guitar player and then you build rigs.
Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes it's like, man, what's the third thing?
you know, I have a guitar shop and now I'm a t-shirt selling business. Dude.
Yeah. Designer. That's crazy. Drop shipping. Man.
Figuring out drop shipping and what a pain in the ass is, dude. But
Podcast extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Mime. Now you're miming now, dude? Damn. Giacomo's going to sue you, dude. You stole my idea.
come to my pizza party. I'm sorry. But I feel for the kid, man.
Yeah.
I feel for the
I
kid.
understand on that.
Dude, how do you not get caught up? How do you not?
Yeah, things are happening fast. You know, there's that guy who like, you know, stole a pedal design and made it his own, and then next thing you know, he can't stop because
Yeah. Dude,
we're on a roll now.
I just feel for the guy, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
I
if you
see.
ever watch this, dude, you know, good luck, man. I hope you figure your shit out.
I don't.
But let's have a funk off, dude. Let's invite him and then be like, all right, dude, see who's funkier, son.
Enrique's funkier than
Yeah, and Enrique's pretty funky. But yeah, so let's wrap it up, dude. So,
Yeah, man.
you know, we're going to see what happens with Reverb.
Reverb.
See if they become a, you know, Fender's evil.
Conglomerate.
Yeah. And see what happens with Giacomo. See if people forgive him.
We'll see.
And what else were we going to... Oh, and then next week we'll talk about...
Yeah, side hustles and like different things we doing.
Because I think a lot of people wonder about
Yeah.
that, like living in LA and
Yeah.
how do you pay this exorbitant
Yeah.
rent and this lifestyle and how everything is expensive here.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, can you actually make a living? Maybe we can talk about some prices, about how much people usually make. Because, dude, all that stuff was like so alien to me.
Right.
Even now, like I'll get people that ask me, like, dude, how much should I be asking as a guitar tech? And I'm like, oh,
how much do you charge? Because that's how much I'm going to charge.
yeah.
I just started.
Yeah,
but I know you've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Are we missing anything else?
I think we got everything covered, man.
Cool. And then,
amazing.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, concerns, complaints,
feedback, anything you want to hear us talk about,
please comment below.
Yeah, let us know.
And like I said last week, if you watched the whole episode, I congratulate you, and please leave us a little comment.
Yes, please.
It'll make our day. And then last thing I want to plug, I got T-shirts for sale.
He's got T-shirts.
It's my side hustle.
What are you trying to raise money for again? Lamborghini?
For my Lamborghini fund, dude. We're like 0.333% out there. We can do it. We can do it, guys.
Maybe now you can at least get a Lamborghini mirror, maybe.
Now that is actually going to become my goal. Imagine if I be the one person that,
dude,
like, I buy a Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini in LA is like perfect because like you can really open it up and just like shoot down the freeway, dude.
Stick. So funny. I still want a Lamborghini. Anyways, all right. Any last words?
Nope.
Enrique?
Hell nah, dog.
Very eloquent.
All right,
spoken.
guys. So we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.